Okay, the 24-hour comic book challenge is more than a challenge. It's more than just 24 hours making 24 pages. It is a gauntlet of creativity. It is an experience like no other, where you are sleep deprived, you are back comfortable deprived, you are food deprived. You are focused on one thing, to come up with a damn story that is engaging, that has some meaning, that is cool in some way. In 24 hours. It is a gauntlet of creativity. And today, we're going to talk about the 24-hour challenge. We're going to sit down, we're going to look at mine that I just made last week, and all that goodness. Let's do it, guys.
Are you ready?
Okay, I ain't got much time. 24 hours, 24 pages of a comic book. That's the goal. That's the mission. That's what we're doing. We're starting right now at 8 a.m. We're going to finish in 8 a.m. the next day. So here we go. I got it all set up. Let's make some freaking comic books. Boom. Let's do this. Okay, step one. I have 24 pages blocked out. I'm gonna do 24 thumbnails. I'm actually gonna try to plan out at least half of this right now early. So I'm gonna eat up a little bit of my first page time to kind of do this. I'm gonna break this down. I also have a bunch of reference from different magazines about nature, because I kind of want this to be like an alien world. So we're gonna look up nature, we're gonna look up some landscapes. If you grab some of those references, that's what we're gonna do right now. Okay, I spent about 30 minutes about breaking this down a little bit. I have down what I need for the first 8 or so pages. So I kind of know the story to some degree. I don't know how it's going to end, but now I've got this broken down, wrote a couple notes, went through my reference, and now I just need to start drawing. So now I'm going to just start drawing the first couple pages at least, and we'll see how far we go. I don't know if I'm going to ink it or what, so we haven't got that far yet, but we're getting there. Okay, it's 11:30, and I've done pages 1, 2, 3, and now I'm working on 4. Okay, actually kind of like that. So some of this stuff I'm not even gonna ink. I'm just gonna darken it up in Photoshop afterwards. But we're sitting here. We're still on track. I wanted to be a little ahead of the ball game, but I'm not quite there. But anyway, that's where we're at right now, and I'm just banging out pages. So we're going to go. Just wanted you to know what's going on. Of course, if you want to see the whole thing, I'm live streaming, which you can see in the live stream on the channel. Okay, I need to fix this little head here. Okay, let's just set this up somewhere. Will that work? Okay. We'll probably speed all this up, but I need to get this going, and I can't be farting around with a million cameras and stuff like that. Although I do want this for the channel. I'll be like, wait a minute, the live stream is for the channel. Well, yes, but I also want this for the channel too. $12:30 right now, and
I just finished the last page. I'm a little bit ahead of schedule. Actually, it's 12:40, so I'm not that much ahead of schedule. 20 minutes over. Just finished this one. It's a what do you call this? A splash page. So I'm working on the others, but I decided to sit down at my desk because I was standing is fine, but because the table's so low, my back was bent at like a good 45 for the last 4 hours. So I'm gonna sit here for a while, and I probably will stand again. But moving it up, we're on the next page. Washed my hands because I had ink all over it, and now I'm gonna go on to this page and figure out what's to do next. Oh yeah, this is, I know what this is. So this is next. Here we go, let's do it. Okay, I'm about an hour ahead of schedule, so I need to take a walk here. It's about, it's 2:30. I gotta take a walk because I made a mistake. I shouldn't have been standing for those first 4 hours. From about 8 to about 11:30, 12, I stood and did those first pages standing on my stool. The problem is I was just hunched over because the table's so low, when you're drawing. So that did me no freaking favors. Therefore, my back freaking hurts. And so I'm sitting in my chair. So because of that, I'm gonna walk around a little bit. Now, I usually am ahead of the game a little bit, and it is good to take breaks. This will be nice to just take a quick little break, walk around for a little bit, and then hopefully get back on track with the comic. Now, don't really know where I'm going with this. I'm nervous because I'm gonna have to spend some serious time figuring out what my next steps are. I have figured out kind of like a couple pages, but I'm gonna have to do like some serious like struggling of what the hell I'm doing. Chopper USA here. See, maybe you came here. Anyway, I'm nervous because I got to struggle figuring out the pages, the composition, what the hell the story is. I don't even know the story yet. It's always like this. Every year, it's about figuring out, coming up with something creative, hopefully. And around 2, 3 a.m., you get down to the wire, you get down those last pages, and you just don't know what the freak you're doing. And those pages always turn out to be like a little crazy. And then when you look at it a couple days later, you're like, whoa, what is this? That's just the way that is. But it'll be nice to this is a nice walk just for a little bit and recharge. I hold my pencils really tight, which is not good. So I gotta like loosen that up a bit. I did not realize how much time not inking is doing for me, but because I didn't ink the last like 3 pages, it's like gone by super quick. Also, it's also quicker just using markers, using my tech pens, than going and getting the brush and getting the damn crow quill. So I might just say screw brush and crow quill, except for like certain little effects, and just do marker because it's just quicker. So I might go that route for the rest of the book. I don't know. It's all about strategy, So it's not really even about like rendering something nice. It's just about like figuring out how to solve the problems in 24 hours. If I could be finished by like 6, dude, I'd be so stoked. That would be the best, but we'll see. I probably won't. I'll be probably finishing up when the kids are downstairs eating cereal. But we'll see. I got a couple monsters, so I'll figure out how that goes. Okay, let's go. Let's go back to work. Get ready. Oh, get ready. Get ready. Get start off with. Start here. Heapy Mindy, don't you do's. Okay. You better believe that. Okay. Time after time. Time after time. And then I might just actually use a marker. Give me a pen. Give me a pen quick. Beep. Okay. And then I'm just gonna go like this. Can you guys see? You guys can see fine. Yeah, but it's true. Okay. 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 So that was that. I'm just gonna. Then we're gonna go here. Okay, let that dry. Let's go over here now. Let's just get on this, guys. Now I could. Huh. I'm just actually going to use this. It's going to be really thick though. Thanks for watching, you guys. Appreciate it. Like, I don't get very many people visiting me. This actually feels really good on the watercolor paper because of this texture. I actually like it a lot. Yeah, this is like my bread and butter here. I like this. I'm feeling this. Oh, that was a little bit deeper than I wanted. That's okay. I'm like, whoa, mama. It's okay though. Okay. Yeah, that actually looks kind of cool, but come on, baby. Dang it. Oh, you know what I could do? I could also use a sponge. I might actually use the sponge. That actually sounds really intriguing. What if I said I want to do this? What do you think, guys? Will that work? And then the next question is, what if I did it with different colors? Yeah, that sounds fun. Yeah, that's kind of fun. And then I should use this, and then I can like. Trick is not to get ink all over you when you're doing this, and guess what? It's harder than you might think. Harder than you might think. And I'm sorry I'm all in the way. It will work, yeah. Okay. I actually think I'm gonna put a little blue right there because I think that'll look pretty cool. Let's do the rest of these little like pieces. Okay, everybody, it is midnight right now, and I am going pretty good. We got a lot going on here. I just did page 18. I'm doing some of these out of order. Here's 19. There's 20. I only have a couple left to do. I have to do 23, 22, 21, and 24. So these four. But you can see they're already sketched out. So they shouldn't take too long to finish, actually. I also have to finish this guy, which I'm really excited about. This is going to be a double-page spread of New York. So that's kind of fun. This will probably take me another hour, though. So I got a little bit more work to do. I might finish before 8 o'clock. I don't know. I'm busting my hump to try to do it. I need to take another walk. I take that a little bit. I just drank this Monster Pipeline Punch, which is really good, actually. It's got like a guava apple thing. I don't drink those often, but I decided to because when I gotta go all night, that's how you do it. Anyway, we're having fun. I'm live streaming, which some of you might have went to. If you didn't, that's okay. I'm using my phone. This is my little setup, and then I'm recording this every now and then. So. I like this a lot. I think it's gonna be fun. Kids, family's all asleep. My wife's a doll for letting me do this and not deal with the kids for a day, so that's important. Next, more later. I'm gonna lose it here soon. So it's 8 o'clock. I actually did the challenge, record time of 20 hours. Now, I did 24 pages in 20 hours, so I just went to bed at 4, and it's 8. I slept for less than 4 hours because my lovely family and children especially are just loud. So they're loud, so I wasn't able to sleep, so I'll probably get a little bit more, but the deal is this. I finished 4 hours early. But there's stuff there that I don't like, so I'm gonna tonight use those 4 hours and go back and kind of refine things. But I did it. It's done. It's kind of weak, but that's okay. It is what it is. And it was fun doing it, and it was great live streaming. So those of you who saw the live stream, thanks, dude. And it's on the channel actually, so you can like see them. But it was fun doing that. So we'll do some more tonight. We'll end it up tonight. I'll record it up. 24-hour comic book challenge. What is that? What is going on? Why does he keep making videos about that this week? Yeah, we did a lot of videos this week, okay? It's because we're doing the 24-hour comic challenge. Once a year, we do this. I've done this 5 years now. Started back in the early aughts. This is a book edited by Nat Gertler. This is started by the creator of Understanding Comics, Scott McCloud. He had this idea and said, hey, what if people sat down, hunkered down for 24 hours and made 24 pages? Because believe it or not, boys and girls, a comic book used to be 24 pages. Now it's like 20 or 18. I don't even know what it is now because they keep cutting the frickin' pages. But guess what? Back in the day, it was 24. So he said, you got 24 hours to make 24 pages. You start the process, no preparation, no script, no drawings, nothing. You go in and you start, you hunker down and you do it. You bring your snacks, your food, your bathroom, your latrine, your spittoon, whatever, and you just make your damn book. You can do it digitally, you can do it with pencil, you do it with crayons, with whatever you want to do. Now, I've done it, like I said, 5 years. 4 of those years digitally. We're going to go through those 4 comics, and then we're going to go through the one I did just 2 days ago. Okay? And then I'm not going to show any more videos or live streams about 24-hour comics. That's it. This is it. This is the finale. No more. Until next year. And then we'll talk about it again. But just in case you guys are tired of hearing me talk about this thing. I love it though, damn it. It's fun. It is a extreme challenge. I get stressed out about it, but I have so much fun. Let me just share with you quickly these little books. I don't know how hard these are to find, and it's they're really fun little like collections basically. Now, as you can imagine, and you can go on Twitter or places and see people's 24-hour comics, so it's not that hard to find. But you'll see varying degrees of skill level. And there's even people like Neil Gaiman and Steve Buscett and different people who do comics professionally have attempted to do this challenge themselves. So it's not just for amateurs, okay? Other people who like make comics for a living have done this. And I think that's pretty cool. So, yeah, just like thumbing through this, I thought it'd be kind of cool to chat a little bit about like some of the different art styles and stuff. You know, I think the majority of them are doing it on paper. It's just kind of, like, this is kind of a fun way to do it. It's just kind of cool, man. It's just really neat. Like, look at this one. This is like really kind of fun. And just like very like rudimentary, you know, potentially done by a child. I don't know. And here's like fumetti, right? So here's one that's like all done with photos and stuff like that, which is I think is really kind of fun to do too. So you can make comics in any freaking way you want. And I think that's pretty freaking cool. They got the requisite pizza. They got their Altoids, you know. Really neat. So that's kind of fun. A lot of different like art styles and stuff that people do. Anyway, I think this is kind of fun. I read this. I haven't finished it, but I like this just to see, again, what can people do in 24 hours and what kind of like skill set are they bringing to the table. Here's another one. This one I think is actually better as far as like level of skill. There's some really good pieces in here that I thought like, wow, these guys did some great stuff in 24 hours. Like even this stuff is like really inked really well, really clean. It takes time just to put down all the blacks and stuff, unless they did it digitally, which they could have. I thought that was like really kind of neat. A neat one. And I like this kind of a cartoonish type of art too. A lot of dialogue, you know, it takes a lot of time to put in the jokes or put in the stuff. So this took a lot of time. Look at this. This is a really kind of neat, like different, really great pieces here. Really neat art. Hey, look at this. I need to go through this. I haven't read this one yet, but I love this stuff. Look at that. I mean, this looks like proper, really well done stuff. Now, every now and then, someone could have broke the rules. They could have did it a little bit more time, or they didn't do it all at once, blah, blah, blah. You never know. But, I mean, look at this one. This is another great one. Just look at all the amount of drawing. Do you see this? Man, this is like serious drawing that they had to do this. To do this all in 55 minutes or so is a challenge. And to do that continuously, look at this. This is brilliant. This is a really good one. I need to read this one for sure. Wow. Yeah. So really fun. Some really great drawing. So people have done it. I think it's freaking cool. So there you go. Now, let's go on to moi. The first one I did. So I've been wanting to do this forever, but 4 years ago, or I guess 5 years ago, I said, you know what? I really want to do it. I think it'd be freaking cool, and I want to try it. So I did it. And I made Soy Chino. Now, what I did is I printed these out, made little covers, and I did this. So this is Soy Chino. Cover here. Cover here. And you can get these printed out, or you can get the PDFs of these all through my Patreon. So check out the Patreon. But I'll just go through these real quick. Now, I did this little thing here where, you know, if you buy these at a con, because I was like selling these at a con for like $2 or something like that, I'll do a little sketch for you. So yeah, I started out, I talked about Soy Chino. Now, if I recall, yeah, this I did all on Manga Studio. So I did this all with Manga Studio, and as you can tell, you know, there's certain cheats you do to get this done. One cheat is you do a couple splash pages. One cheat is you do some repeating panels. There's certain things you do just to like pump it out, because it's all about getting it done in time. That's the trick, because after the 24 hours, you are done, sir. So that's the tricky thing to do. I actually kind of like that. So here, clearly I did this, and then I just like, you know, did layers for the different hats. And I'm doing all the lettering just with my stylus on a Cintiq. So I had a Cintiq, the 24 HDQ or whatever it's called, and which is right there, right near. And here, how about I got this? Right there. That's my Cintiq. Okay. Yeah, so this is the story basically of me kind of coming to terms with being half Mexican, half white, you know, having a father who was ingrained in the culture of Mexico, and me going to visit him and my family there. And not knowing the language, not being familiar with the people, my own family, just trying to like navigate that world. So, you know, here's example, another way I cheated in that, you know, you're replicating the panel over and over, and then you just do little minor changes. These are all like different cousins and people that all were excited to see me, you know, but I didn't know how to communicate with them. With my grandmother, with my father, alcoholism, the elements that just left me feeling alone and not together with them, right? Just separated. And then we go into this kind of dreamlike state. I'm flying around. I see this girl. She kisses me. You know, there's confusion there. Then a more travelogue of going to Mexico, to Mazatlan with family, dancing on tables. Again, my father being drunk, figuring out all that business. And then the attack of the army of crickets in Imperial, which is no fun at night. And that was pretty freaky. But you know, you see all the art is pretty rudimentary, right? And this was 5 years ago. But this is like, you got to bang these out. And it takes about 50 minutes or so per page, and you got to keep going. Towards the end, you're just running out of juice. Now, I also cheated in that I found images that I drew previous years in sketchbooks of Mexico, and I used those. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm using these images because I drew them, and I am like Fumetti. I'm going to use these static images and tell the story. So I did that for those, and then we did this, and then it ends. And I am a Chicano. So this was kind of cool. And then in my that's a kind of the cover, kind of a gang cover. And then here's I talked about my story and got my links and all that kind of crap. So that was 5 years ago. Soy Chicano. The next one was 5th grade. 5th grade, I did this 4 years ago. I will not talk in class. That was funny. So here's the cover. Me is Michael Jackson. That's a Michael Jackson jacket. And I will not talk in class. I did 2 covers. I thought it'd be kind of fun to do like more of a book type of cover, and then more like a comic book cover. So hence the comic group, all that kind of stuff. That was kind of cool. Okay. Next. 5th grade was literally a travelogue of 5th grade. So this is literally like, what did Salazar do during 5th grade living in Arkansas? Before, we talked about me being a little bit older going to Mexico. Now it's like me with a mom and no father because he was in Mexico. What am I doing surviving here? This is where I started picking up also a lot of images and using them for reference. So the Conan shot, grabbing that in Manga Studio and using that as a template. Other shots of the movie, the Dungeons and Dragons red box set that my mom bought me. This is also when I decided to use digital lettering. So I did the lettering all in InDesign. So it took me a little bit more time, but I found that because I used some more images, referenced images, I was able to do that quicker. So I think the drawing is better in this. And I think the product just turns out a little better. And the lettering definitely was an improvement because some of this stuff here, you just couldn't freaking read it. So a little bit of improvement. And this story is parallels between me and my life in 5th grade, as well as this like made up little fantasy D&D character that goes on his adventures. So I kind of tell these crazy stories that happen with me and my mom. Meanwhile, we also have these, little adventures that are having with parallel to me with the little fantasy guy. Talk about Jesus, going on the school bus to McDonald's. That was funny. Again, I'm using a lot of stuff from my life. Talking about Rambo and playing D&D. Which, here's a shot of the Rambo, right? So I'm just grabbing that. And then we talked about Michael. Because Michael, when I was in 5th grade, was huge. You did not mess with Michael Jackson, right? Here's some shots I did, and I just drew those out from reference. You can tell. This is real. I made this. I had a purple freaking jacket called. I labeled myself AAA, the awesome, amazing Andy. I would wear that around. I was insane. That's how. And I had a glove. That's not a joke. That's a shoot. I'm not joking. I had a glove. There you go. And so that was funny. And that's me being crazy. Playing D&D, playing role-playing games, my mom photocopying the manuals for me. And then we're going to this little adventure story. These are some fun little panels I kind of came up with. Here's a cute little girl that liked me. I liked her. I actually like these little panels of the words and stuff. That really happened, where they pretended they were seeing Michael Jackson. That was jacked up. I was a kid, I didn't know nothing. And then there was a talent show. So there was a talent show, and guess what? I was Michael Jackson for the talent show. I did Beat It, I danced to it, and that's me dancing to freaking Billie Jean in 5th grade. And that was my moment of fame, beautiful babes, 6th grader babes coming after me, and it was the best in life. And parallel to that was the guy vanquishing his evil. So that was 5th grade. I think this is fun. This is a really fun one. Okay. Next is My Name is Sadie. This is probably the most personal in some ways. This one might be the best. I don't know. It's hard to say. My name is Sadie. And so we talk about Sadie. She is a girl who is there's a lot of reference to my sister who has learning disabilities and challenges, mental challenges, and so it's about her life. And now, notice I go back to handwriting the letters. Because doing it digitally took so long, I just said, screw it, I can't go back and do that in InDesign for every page. It took too long. So I decided to just do it by hand. I think I wrote it out better, but I could have used a smaller point setting. If I would have used a smaller pen, I think it would have worked better. But anyway, I think it's legible. She talks about going into her brain and in this kind of surreal world where there's this frog or toad that chases her or is after her in some way. It's kind of dark and scary and I just kind of went with it. And then she loves, even to this day, Rainbow Bright, My Little Pony, Hello Kitty, and that kind of stuff. So we put some of that in there in her dreamlike world. And so she dreams with these characters. And there's a lot of, there's a lot of dialogue. I'm like, there's a lot of stuff going on him. And I just go in there. And then she sees toads. And when she sees toads, she just starts wigging out. And we don't know why, right? And she just like collapses. And that happens. So she'll just start seeing toads. And we don't know what the toads represent, but we will get to that. We talk about her mother, and they kind of battle a bit, those two. And how she talks about she's seen toads and being uncomfortable. And then she has this boyfriend that likes her, which has got this weird, like, come sit on my lap, I feel silly, I missed you, where are you wearing this hat? Just kind of a strange thing there. Then there's some experiences where she's at the mall, she starts seeing toads, so if she starts seeing toads, she freaks the freak out. And so she started wigging on that. Started crashing into things, busting stuff up, battling. She takes a bath, tries to calm herself down. Mom is trying to do her best. I think the art is pretty rough here, but I was really going for just like, hey man. Notice also I'm putting a lot of like texture now. I'm going crazy with this the screen tones. But then we get into who this toad is, and the toad is an uncle. Somehow something went down with this uncle. And she has this dream of the uncle. And then and then there's this thing where it kind of goes into another surreal world where her characters of My Little Pony and Rainbow Bright just attack the toad. And there's some hyper-violence and some craziness that happens. And that's it. I think this one's actually really good. This is like heartfelt look into mental challenges, stuff like that. Okay. Last year's is my most like conventional action adventure story. I even just did one cover. I said, screw it. It's called Birth of Druliki. If you are a Patreon, you're familiar with Druliki and what the Naguals are. It is a novel that I've been writing. The first 9 chapters are up on the Patreon. You can get it for $1. And I decided last year, you know what? I got this whole property of this like world that this ancient American, like Mesoamerican fantasy story like Jedi and the Aztecs. Why don't I do that? Do a quick comic. So I did. So I made this comic, and now I'm doing a lot of reference. Like I'm grabbing, I think this is Kirby, or not Kirby, excuse me. This is not Kirby. Turok. I'll think of it. Let's just keep going. So yeah, I'm doing reference. It's again, South American ancient world, pre-Columbian world. I actually like that drawing right there. Doing a lot of fun drawing here. This little adventure story. He finds there's a mystery. There's some people that died, that were burned. He's trying to figure out where it's at. He's in the jungle. Some really fun shots. I think this was like a Tarzan picture or something that I grabbed and did. But you think of this and you're like, okay, you got an hour. I could do that in an hour. Well, guess what? That's not that easy. Doing this in an hour is really quick. And so notice again, I'm just hand doing the lettering. I said, screw it. I got time to digitally do it. But some of this is good. Some of this is pretty bad. But again, it's not about like good rendering. It's about coming up with something creative. And I'm kind of proud of this because I came up with it. And some of these are kind of fun drawings. Like that was kind of neat. A sketch, a waterfall. He finds these people that are like hunkered down, afraid of something that happened in the village. Turns out there was this boy that was there that was this kind of evil spirit. And so he finds a Druliki who's kind of an evil version of a Jedi, like a Sith Lord. Think of it as a Sith. Like an Aztecian Sith guy. And so they battle. There's some good fighting. That's kind of a fun little shot. Anytime there's a really good shot, it's probably something I referenced from someplace or other. And that's kind of fun. That I think I did myself. But yeah, so they did some battling. Some textures in here. This is all like straight up like action adventure. And he's about to kill the boy, and they won't let him kill the boy. The tribe, but he knows the boy's evil, so he just walks away. And then they find out the boy must be evil, right? So that was kind of fun. This one I like a lot. This is just like a fun adventure story. There you go. Now, drum roll. This year's, boom, Escape from the System. Now, I did this in 24 hours. 20 hours all at once, and then I was done with those pages, and I decided to go back and spend my unused up 4 hours to do it. So I said, I'm gonna use my 4 hours. So let's start with the originals. I'll just show these up real quick, and then we'll go into the booklet, okay? First thing I did in hour one was I came up with this, and I only got to about here or so. And then I just like said, okay, I'm spending too much time. I got to get on this. So I kind of broke down panels, just thumbnails. I didn't have words. This is very much almost a silent comic, at least most of it in the beginning. Because I was like, we got to finish this. I ain't got time to sit here and think about stuff. I just want to make this a fun story. So I did this. And then that's not page one. Page one, and we started off in the races. Now I'm using deleter paper, so this is actually A size, which is like I think 9 by 13, so it's smaller than normal comic book size. This is the first year that I did this on paper. I did everything digital before, which was quick, but I wanted to do paper because I like paper and I like to ink and I like the texture of it, and I wanted to play with different stuff, and I even used an airbrush, which I probably shouldn't have, but I wanted to do it, so I did it on paper. But I used this deleter paper, which is a little smaller, to kind of save me some time. I also decided to not ink everything, so some of the stuff was not inked. I just penciled it hard and just digitally did that, so that saved me time. I even had time to redo a couple pages because they were just butt crap. So I redid that. There's a monster coming out, killing this guy. He comes out on land. Another monster gets him. Then this flying monster gets him. It's just like that food web type of thing. Some of this turned out kind of cool. I wish I would not have used the airbrush. He's eating. So this is a fantasy world, alien world monsters, right? No words, just this. Then we see, oh, okay, we're just gonna, oh wait, no, these are bad pages, sorry. Move these out of the way. Then we see the character, our main character. He's drawing, he's up there and he's sketching this, like the death of this monster here. And we don't know what's going on. And he's walking. Notice I'm using a little bit of deleter. I actually have screen tone, so I just put some screen tone in certain spots. Now he's getting chased by this big spider creature, right? And he's chased, he's almost gonna get, and then he goes into this kind of a portal thing. What is this thing? Takes him up, right, into space. Lands on some kind of a planet, or excuse me, not planet, spaceship. And I have these drawings, these little like watercolors that I would do, and I did these, you know, that's a spaceship, right? And they're just kind of abstracts, but I can use them for stuff. So I use these little abstract drawings for parts of the story. This is him. Again, using some deleter in here, some brush work, you know, looking at kind of the internal places. And then he goes into this dreamlike state, and he dreams of this world that has bikers in New York City. And I even did this big piece of New York. I had 2 hours, and I did a double page spread. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do a double page spread. So I did this big 18 by 24 watercolor, and now it did it about around 3 a.m. So I'm like, 3 a.m. on Saturday, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I've got in theory 2 hours, but I can do this quick. And so I spent a lot of time doing this, and this turned out really nice. And if someone wants it, let me know, and I'll sell it to you, because I think this is actually worthy of framing. I like this a lot. So here's that piece. So I actually got some real art out of it. This is fun. This is just kind of adventure-y stuff, you know. Then we got the El Monstro. So they fight these samurai bikers fight this monstro dude. They come out, the Ninja Brothers. So this is just fun. Again, I think the art is better. Just penciling helped a lot, saved so much time. But there were parts where I did ink, and I actually kind of like that. Definitely think I'm getting better. And then he's done with his dream, and that's the story he wanted. He doesn't want to be an artist, he wants to be a writer. So he comes up with his story, shares it with his other people, his friends. They don't really get it, because they're all like about reality. And then it ends with him happy that they read it, because he's made his dream come true. And that was it. So these are the originals. Then I printed it out. I put it in InDesign. And I made a little booklet, just like the others. I haven't done a cover yet. I will do that later. But this is how it turned out. And it's kind of fun. And it's, you know, there's some good things in it. I mean, of course, if you had more time, you'd go back and make it better. But again, I had no idea what this was going to be, you know, a day ago. It just comes to you. You just, see, that's kind of fun. You just put it together. New York City. And you make a comic. And I think that's just kind of a fun thing. And that's what this channel is all about, is making comics, telling stories. So there you go. I've showed you the videos. You've seen everything that I have. I am not going to talk about it anymore. We are done with this topic. Much to some of your happiness, but I hope you did enjoy it. I love doing it. If you guys want to do it with me next year, or we want to create something, let me know, because I'm going to do it. I've done 5 of these. I'm tempted to even collect these and put them all in a book or something. It's very fun. So have a great one. Thank you for watching. Check out my Patreon. I got some fun stuff there. A lot of that is free. You don't have to sign up for. Some of the like content, like Shangri-La States and those graphic novels, you do have to pay $1, but you can just pay $1 1 month, read everything for the last year, and then just bounce Again, thanks a lot. Appreciate you guys. Click on the bell icon and subscribe. Let's get 1,000 subscribers, because once I get 1,000, a couple things happen. One is I can live stream with my phone, and I can just like record as we go, which is actually nice. I could even start using my GoPro to do that, which would be nice. So there's a couple benefits to getting 1,000. So let's see how we do. Thank you very much. More videos are coming all the time. Thank you. Bye.